Everyone, so today I'm going to do a red lip makeup look. I'm going to do two of these videos. One today, I'll decide during it whether this one's going to be the day-ish red and then we'll do a night red or vice versa. But it's not a look I do that often on myself just because I sometimes feel I can't pull off a red lip. But it's been highly requested, so I am going to do it today. So I have my base on at this point, just my foundation, my concealer and my powder. So I decided to keep my blush until I started because you'll usually see me use my natural glow blush. But when I'm doing a red lip, I tend to go with my peach glow because I don't want that pink fighting with the red. So I'm going to take a little bit of my peach glow on my blush brush and just tap that onto my cheeks. So you could use the pink as well. I just like to keep it a little bit more bronzy when I'm using a red lip on myself. And I do tend to use the peach a lot of the time on my clients as well when I'm doing a red lip. So, but like that, there's no real rules. So whatever you feel most comfortable with, go with. And then I'm going to pop on my Radiant Skin Cream as well just before we start, just so that the skin is pretty much done. If I can find my mini buffer. Chloe was in my makeup room yesterday and I came in today and a lot of my brushes, well, they're still here, but they're covered in eyeshadows and everything. So I've very little to work with this morning. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on and now the skin is good to go. So with a red lip, I think I will go for more of an evening look for today and then we can do a day red another day. But I always feel like if you're doing a red lip, then the eyes, you don't want them to be too strong. So we still want to have definition, but we don't want them overpowering the lip because sometimes it's just a bit too much and the eye doesn't know where to kind of go, you know, it doesn't know where to look. So I think that sometimes it's nice to just keep it a bit more muted when you are doing a red and just give a little bit of definition with liner and stuff. So because I'm going to use our Glamour palette for this look, I want to start with a base on my lid and I'm actually going to use our bronzer for that. So it's handy if you've just used your blush to take the bronze then and just give yourself a little coating all over the lid and up to the crease. So what this is going to do, like I said, it's just going to give me a little bit of a base and a bit of a contour into that crease as well so that we know where we're taking our shadow up to. Okay, so just nice and gently, just up to the crease. Okay. Next then we're going to go with our Glamour palette. So with the Glamour palette, that's my signature palette, I'm going to start with my lightest colour here. Sorry, my nails are not looking great. I have my appointment next week and I'm going to go with my little pencil brush and just take that onto the arches of my brows. So it's giving me just a little bit of a lift in there. Okay, next we're going to go with our Pro Blender and I'm going to go in with my golden olive green shade. So I love this colour with a red lip. So we're going to take that onto the Pro Blender, or you could use your finger, and then pat that down onto my lid. So I'm going to take that. I always pat the shadow down first and then we'll blend it across, just so that we know that the pigment is on the lid before we start to try and blend. Otherwise, what you might get is fall down, because when you're using a sheen pigment, they tend to be softer than a matte. So if you go in a little too heavy-handed, it can end up all over the place on you. Okay, so I'm going all over the lid with that. Now the lights in here this morning, I have to use my lighting because the light outside is a little bit dark. But what I'll do at the end is I'll show you what it's like in the natural light as well as this type of light, because what I see here is much stronger than what you're seeing in the camera at the moment. So I don't want you feeling like you have to put on loads when you're doing it yourself at home. Okay. So over that lid again. So we want to make it nice and noticeable. And then whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to take underneath the eye. Well, actually, I'm going to take a tiny bit more. I'm going to take just slightly underneath the eye, just to give it a little bit of a smoke out. Next then I'm going to go in with my deeper shade, same brush again, and I'm going to just take this into the corners here. So just to deepen down the outer corner slightly to give ourselves a bit of a shadow out there. And then I'm going to join it from underneath. So I'm using this brush again. If you've smaller eyes or you're just not fully confident with this type of brush yet, for darker colours, you can use your pencil brush either. And then I'm going to drag it in. So see the way we're getting a bit of an outline. Don't worry about blending it yet. We'll blend everything out in a minute and make it nice and neat. I'm going to do the same on the other side, and then I'll come back and do some liner. Okay, so now that we have that on, I haven't blended it yet still, so don't worry that it looks a bit untidy. I'm going to go in with my jet black liner next. I'm going to take this up, and then we're going to just bring this into the upper lash line. So I like to use a pencil, and then I'm going to smudge it out with a brush, but you could use a liquid liner or a gel liner here if you want either. I just prefer personally the finish I get with the pencil and a bit of shadow. So I'm not being neat, kind of getting it in there first. And then at the edge, I'm just going to lift it slightly up towards the brow. Okay. And I'm going to use my brush now to neaten that out. So I'm going to take my little angle liner brush, and then I'm going to drag that pencil outwards. So this is a great way to learn your liner if you aren't, again, fully confident with it yet and you want to give it dip your toe in. So you want to come out to the edge now. To make this nice and neat, I'm going to have the point pointed towards my eye, and then just lift it up towards that brow. So because the pencil hasn't set yet, I'm able to get a nice lift on it, and then just blend it backwards down into the line again. Because you never want to see where one is starting, one finishes. See that? I'm going to just blend that across. Okay, and I think I could go with just a little bit of a stronger bit at the edge. That looks like it's not blended there, hang on. Okay, just going to take a bit more of that pencil just at the edge. So I just want it to be a little sharper, and then blend it upwards. Okay. Just make sure you're happy with how your liner looks before you move on to the next, because the pencil will set, and once it's set then you won't be able to start maneuvering it again. Okay, I'm going to take a tiny bit of that same pencil, and I'm just going to go into right in between the roots of the lower lashes, really gently, and then use my pencil or my brush again and just blend it in. Okay, now that I've that done, I'm going to take my blender brush and I'm just going to blend out that shadow. Just make it nice and soft. The reason I do this after doing the liner rather than before is because I don't want to go past this line. And if you don't have that there, you could end up bringing it down further and end up with shadow down here. We don't want that. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to take another little bit, sorry. I'm going to just go a little bit thicker with that. It's the great thing about the pencils as well, is that you can just decide you want a little bit more, you know, and just add to it. Whereas I find sometimes with gels, because when they set, you're kind of snookered. Okay, join it back down. Like that. So I'm going to do the same on the other side, and then I'm going to show you another little bit of liner that we're going to use before we put on mascara. So now that we have them evened up, I'm going to take some of this Kohl pencil from MAC in the shade Nude, or Bisque, sorry. And I'm going to pop this on my waterline on the lower part, because I want to brighten that up slightly to make the eyes look bigger. So again, if you wanted, you could put a black liner in here, but because I want to make the eyes as big as possible, I don't want to close them in, the little bit of nude liner there is going to push them out. And now we're going to put on a little bit of mascara. So I'll do my mascara and then we'll come back and do the red lip. Okay, so now our mascara's on, it's time to do the red lip. And with red lipstick, for me, I think if you're going red, you kind of have to go all in. So it needs to be a good strong color that is going to make a statement. If it's a little bit insipid or it's halfway there, it just ends up looking a bit undone. And when I do a red lipstick, which some people find strange, I will always still use a natural lip color pencil. And the reason for this is because if you put this on and you have your red lipstick on and then you go off for about the day, if your red lipstick starts to fade, you won't be left with a really solid red line. And you'll also get a really nice natural fullness to the lips as well. So this one is the Essence Lost in Love. And I'm just going to outline my lips on the outer part so that they look nice and big. Well, I shouldn't say nice and big, nice and full, because I do have naturally small lips. So you see the way that's made that look bigger already. And then same up top. It is really important to wear a lip liner when you're doing a red lip, because, or any sort of colour strong lip, because it'll stop it bleeding and it just gives you a trace line as well as to where to bring your colour. Okay. And then the lip colour I'm going to use today is a MAC lipstick, and this shade is called Ruby Woo, so it's probably one of their most famous ones. And I'm just going to go straight on. I don't use, look funny now, I don't use lip brushes on myself. I think that you get a better payoff straight from the stick. I use them obviously on clients and that, but for myself I don't. There is my red lips on. So that has a matte finish on it, which I think is really nice on actually, and it does create a really nice statement to have the red just really strong and really matte. But if you want to put a gloss to it, what I do instead of using an actual lip gloss is I use the Elizabeth Arden 8 Hour Cream. And the reason I don't use a gloss and use this over it instead is sometimes I find with glosses, when you go to put it on over a strong colour, it again can take away from the colour. And because even sometimes with the applicators, or if they're sticky glosses, they'll pull that colour away. And you can get these in travel size, and you can get them in lipstick size as well, like in little, you know, things like this. So I just find that it keeps the lips really moisturised and it'll keep the colour as you want it. So I'm going to take a tiny bit and I'm just going to tap it on just to create a bit of a gloss. And there we have it. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I do actually really like this look, I have to say. It's been so long since I wore a red lip that I was a little bit nervous to do it, but I do really like it. I think that just having a bit of definition on the eyes, not too heavy eye makeup, and then going in with a really strong red just packs a really nice punch, and it gives a real bit of glamour to your look. And I will do another one for a daytime look with very little on the eyes, and then if you want I can do a stronger eye as well if you want to go all in and do both. But I do hope you enjoyed this one, and I will chat to you soon.